Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Hearthstone. My name is Tuskeh, and in this video we're going to do exactly what it seems like. We're going to play some Hearthstone. The Shaman deck has been doing pretty well. I played a couple of custom games with it. Someone on my battle tag challenged me with a Hunter deck that had like every single card ever in it, and I still somehow won. I don't know if I'm just lucky, or I don't know. I don't know if I accidentally made a really good kind of minion synergy deck. If I did, I'm gonna roll with it. In case you haven't seen the last video, we basically built the deck from scratch. I didn't really have any kind of plan. I just kind of got some minions that I like the look of, and it all kind of revolves around the bloodlust for the kill, and that is how I've been winning most of my games. So, yeah. Going pretty well. We shall continue to see how it does. Since I last played, the ranked season has ended and started anew. So we've gone up back to rank 23 and we've got a new card back. Let's have a look at it here. It's this one. It looks kind of pandery. I don't like it. I like my launch deck. So we will continue with this. That's generally it, really. Not much to report since we last played some Hearthstone. So I think it's just time to play some more. This isn't going to be entirely like it was before. We'll play a couple more games than normal. And we shall discuss the plays as it all happens. So hopefully this will be interesting to you. I've heard that some people like to watch these kind of videos while they're doing other things. So hopefully this shall provide. I do like to provide for you folks, but I will not play Let's Plays. Sorry. It won't happen. Not that you guys have been asking. You guys are perfectly happy with guides and the like, it seems. But today we're going to take a bit of a break. And just relax and play some Hearthstone. Because games are all about fun at the end of the day. And I do like fun. It's something I'm minorly good at, I like to think. So, we shall continue. I haven't been up very long. Haven't been awake and conscious for a while. So, if I sneeze or sniff, hopefully I won't. But if I do, I apologise. Alright. So we're up against a Paladin. Our first Paladin of the series. I don't like Paladins. Never liked them in the game. So let's see how this goes. Lord of the Arena. Don't need that. A little bit too high cost for the early game. Raid Leader, although it's a low cost, it's a 2-2 for 3. Not that helpful. Only helpful if I have other minions on the board, so I will get rid of that. And we'll get rid of the Hex as well. Because generally you're not going to use a Hex early game. The Frost Shock will be good in the early game to help deal with any early aggression he decides to go with. What have we got? Ah, the Harvest Golem. My good old Harvest Golem. I do love this card so much. Alright. What have we got? We haven't got anything at the moment. We'll just have to skip the turn. And we will probably coin into the Harvest Golem as our first move. And then on turn 4 we have the Sentient Shieldmaster. Alright, it goes with the Loot Hoarder. Ah, that's a little bit frustrating, but not the end of the world. We could actually Frost Shock to kill that and just get it out of the way. And then we could draw the Fairy Dragon. I'm actually kind of happy with doing that, so we'll do that. We'll Frost Shock you. You'll get the card out of it, but you'll get the card out of it anyway. And then we'll Fairy Dragon. And then next turn we can Harvest Golem. Admittedly, that does give him more cards than it does us, but we'll just have to live with it. Hopefully we'll be able to get some use out of these minions and get some good trades going. What I love about the Fairy Dragon is that he can't target it with something. Alright. 2-3 comes out. That's okay. We could play the Harvest Golem, but he would use that to enrage his Amani Berserker. So we could play the Harvest Golem and get a guaranteed minion out, or we could Totemic Call and hope we get a Taunt. And I'm not really happy with going with the Lords of Fate, so I'll go Harvest Golem and then I'll trade. Of course, whenever anyone says trade in Hearthstone, it means trade 2 cards. And not actually trade the cards over, but have them fight one another and do their damage to one another. Trades normally mean that they both die. But that's not too much of a problem. Okay, this is going to be a 3-3 with Divine Shield. Not bad. Not bad. That's a pretty good combo. Alright, get the Fire Elemental. What should we do? The Sentient Shieldmaster would be a good answer here, I think. So I'll pop you down. And then we shall... What shall we do? We shall just... I think we'll pop your... Well, we could pop the Divine Shield. It would kill this, and I'd get the 2-1 out of it. But at the same time, this is Consecrate Bait. Now, Paladins have a spell called Consecrate, which is a 4... I'm pretty sure it's a 4-cost card that deals 2 damage to everyone on this side of the board. So if I traded with this, he could then trade with this, consecrate, and clear my board, which I don't want to do. So I'm just going to hit him in the face. And I'm going to sneeze, so I apologize in advance. Alright. Ooh! Interesting! A crazed alchemist. How very interesting. Oh dear me, this is not going well. So he's now got a 5-5 with taunt and a 2-2 with taunt. Well, that's most certainly annoying. What can we do? We could Windspeaker this guy, get the 3-3 out on the field, kill this, and then trade that into that, which would take that down to 3. And that would then trade with the Windspeaker. We could play the Yeti, which is a 4-5. But I don't want to give him this board. There's just too much stuff going on here. So we will Windspeaker, which will now allow me to trade here, get rid of him, and then trade into him, which turns into a 5-3. And we could get this guy as a taunt. I think I want to do that. This is a very high octane game, I have to admit. It's definitely going interesting, to say the least. Lots of minions being traded out. What's he gonna do? Oh, the Blessing of Kings! This now becomes what? A 10-8. Make that a 14-9. Where is my Hex? Make that a 15-10. I am just getting absolutely flabbergasted here. Alright, yay. Alright, what are we gonna do? Well, we could get that down to 6-5-4. We need to do that. We need to kill this thing before it just annihilates us. Oh, great. Great, yeah. That's going to trade with that lovely thing. So this is going badly for me, basically, is what I'm saying. And the True Silver Champion comes out, making that to 16-5. This thing is going to two-shot me. So now it's now a 17-6, and he draws 3 cards. Wow, this could not be going better for him. Can you not tell I'm leaned back in my chair just going, oh, for the love of God. Alright, well, he now has a 17-6. I should not have thrown away that Hex. Oh, now I get the silence. Now I get the bloody silence. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. I have to pray for a taunt at this point, I think. Actually, yeah, I do. Come on, taunt. That is not what I wanted. Ugh. I am sorry. Yeah, you should be sorry, you bastard. I've just woken up. Alright, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, come on! You big bastard! Paladins! Paladins! Hitting me with a 17-10. Oh, jeez. You see, Hearthstone's an interesting game like that. It's like, half the time it's like, oh, this is interesting to have this happen, and need to go play all this. And then sometimes it's just, yeah, I have a 17-4, and you don't have an answer. So that happened. It ended badly. Early morning Hearthstone. All of the pros are on, apparently. Let's just forget that that game happened. Alright. Now, a warrior. And I go first, and I get the Worgen Infiltrator. That's a lovely start. Absolutely love the Worgen Infiltrator. One of my favourite, if not my favourite, one-drop card. Fairy Dragon's good turn 2. Stormwind Champion, not so much. Alright, Chillwind Jetty. That's pretty good. That's a good turn 4 play. Nice, early, strong minion. So, we'll get the Worgen Infiltrator out right off the board. Right off the bat, even. Duh. So that's a nice 2-1 with stealth. So even if he coins an axe, he won't be able to hit it yet, which is very nice. Of course, when I say coins axe, I mean he plays a 3-2 axe. Of course, that is the only minion in this game that answers that. Okay, well, what are we going to do? So this is an interesting early game already. So we can attack him, attack the Argent Squire, which would not be a good idea, because I just lose him, and he'd still have a 1-1. That'd be a terrible trade. We could play the 3-2. Or we could hope for an interesting totem like a Searing Totem or a Taunt Totem. I think we'll go with the Fairy Dragon. Also, hello. And we will hit you in the face. Boop! Alright. So we've smacked you in the face for 2. He'll probably trade over the 1-1 for the 2-1 at this point. That would be a very clever move by him. It would be a very smart move. Or he could have Cleave. Oh dear. Yeah. Greetings to you too. Well, the only thing I can do at this point is summon a totem. Well, it's a taunt totem. That would have been helpful, but what's he going to do at this point then? He's got the card advantage, although admittedly one of those is the coin, so he essentially only has 5 cards. So he's only 1 card ahead of me. Okay, so he has an answer to that. Oh boy. Alright, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would trade with the Chillwind Yeti, or he could play the Harvest Golem. And not be able to play that. So we'll summon the Yeti. I seem to be getting buggered over by buffs today. Although, admittedly, a 1-1 on a 1-1 isn't much of a buff. See, these kind of advanced cards are very powerful if you can use them correctly. I've seen... Like, I played a Hunter earlier today. Someone challenged me on Battle.net. And they had all these advanced cards, but none of them were incredibly... He didn't really use them smartly, so to speak. So he ended up kind of screwing himself over. Alright, what's he going to do? So he can actually kill this thing. He's going to hit it. I get a 4 off. That's nice. That's fine. And I pop his Divine Shield. That's all I was able to achieve there. Okay. What am I going to do? So I can Harvest Golem and then Totem. But that would still leave everything alive on the board. I could Frost Shock, but that isn't going to kill anything. I could hope for a Wrath of Air Totem and then Frost Shock and potentially kill one of these 2. Or I could Spellbreaker the Warsong Commander or the Argent Squire and get the Silence. For a 4... I would have preferred the 2-cost Iron Beak Owl instead. So I think what we'll do at this point is we will Totem, see what we get. Alright, we get a Taunt. That's pretty nice. And then we will, yeah. Wait a minute, hold on. I could Flame Tongue Totem this and make it be a 2-2, which would trade nicely with these 2. But he has his Axe, and then I'd lose the Totem immediately. So I think we'll just throw the Harvest Golem down. So he's all over me at the moment. This is much like how the Garrosh versus Thrall fight happened in the Siege of Orgrimmar. I flail it effectively, and then he just one-shots me. Hopefully that won't happen, but what's he going to do at this point? He's just going to trade that out. But that's fine, that's fine. I get more damage on him, and I get the 2-1, which will trade with something. Alright, I can Frost Shock that next turn, thankfully. Did he not attack with that Argent Squire? Curious. He likes saying hello to me, so we'll start by Frost Shocking you. Goodbye. Then, what shall we do next? We could Totem, or we could Spellbreaker. We could Spellbreaker the 2-2, turn it into a 1-1, or we could get rid of his 1 spell damage. I'm not really worried about spell damage from a warrior, unless he's playing a very specific deck, but it doesn't seem like he is. We could Hex the 4-4, because he has 9 damage on the board right now, and that's just horrible. I think we'll do that, yeah. Then we'll throw the Totem out. Oh, now I get the Wrath of Air Totem. Admittedly, and I will say this, it probably would have been a better idea for me to use the Totem first, because then I could have potentially Frost Shocked one of the 2 health minions. But that's okay. I probably would have wanted to get rid of that. Bloody hell. He's just got all the cheap minions, doing very well here. Oh, and I get the Swampoos just a little bit too late. Okay, what can we do? We could throw the 3 damage into the Shattered Sun Cleric, which would definitely get rid of it. I mean, I can't get rid of this yet. I could also get rid of the Imani Berserker, which would certainly be a trouble for me. And this guy is just constantly pestering me. That's okay, though. So we'll throw out this guy. And we will. Who will we target? We will get rid of his most... I'm worried about a combo here, so I'm just going to bop that. Because warriors have a lot of abilities that's just like, okay, increase the damage of something, but also deal damage to it. So if he did that on the Mana Berserker, he would get like 3 damage and then enrage. So he'd go from a 2-3 to like a 7-3, which I don't want. So he's got 8 damage on the board right now. Is he going to go for the face? No, he's just going to play his Corcoran Elite. What's he going to do now? Alright. Is he just going to rush me? Looks... No. Okay, he's going to trade. Well, at least I got some trading going. That's nice. Oh, this is bad. This is bad for me. Alright, so we get that out. We'll also play this. I think we just, at this point, need to play everything. Really. Just everything. I need to get minions out on the board. And we will play this as well. Because if he's going to rush me down, I can't let him do that. I need to get the taunts out. I'm desperate at this point, admittedly. So, somewhat worried. He's got some very good trades here. But they are trades. He's not going to do me out, which is nice. So I've got the 6-3, which will trade with either of these. Interesting. He's going to hit both of those, and then he's going to execute it. Bollocks! All of the answers right in my face. Alright, well, I need a taunt next turn. Loads of cheap minions this game. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. The wind speaker comes out. Just what I need. Oh, that would be game. I'll let him kill me. Go ahead. Go ahead and kill me, Mr. Greetings. How are you going to kill me then? You're going to think about it. You're going to armor up. That would be a good way to kill me. Great way to kill me. What are you going to do now? Oh, he's going to shoot his own frog. Everything related to me is just... Won't have that. Oh. And there is the death. Yeah. Alright. Well, we started the day off by losing horribly to a paladin, and now we've lost horribly to a warrior. Not really sure what I could have done in that situation. And I will also admittedly say that we're at the point in the whole kind of ranked season where the new season has just begun. So there are all these really, really powerful decks floating around at kind of rank 23, 24, 25, destroying people like me. Because I don't have the money to spend on Hearthstone. I mean, I could, but, you know, I like food. So, we'll continue to play with our basic deck. We'll play a couple more games, hopefully win one of them against someone who is of worthy status. And by that I mean isn't going to pyroblast me, like this mage probably will. I don't like mages that much, although admittedly I have a very good turn 2 here with Fairy Dragon because he can't be targeted by his 1 damage hero power. Other than that, I like the Ascension Shieldmaster, but not enough to have 2 of them. And a Wind Fury. That would be great to play after the Fairy Dragon, but you can't actually use targeted buffs like this on the Fairy Dragon, because sure, it can't be targeted by enemy spells or damaging spells, but you also can't buff it directly. So it has to be kind of an AoE in that regard. Either AoE damage or an AoE buff. So what you got? Okay, you're going to start off defensive, mirror image. You know, those used to be a 0-3. Or was it a 1-3? I forget. We will play the Fairy Dragon. As much as I love the Worgen Infiltrator at this point, a 2-1 is kind of useless against the mage because he will just Fire Blast it just instantly and kill it. Admittedly, the stealth may be helpful, so we may use that next turn, since we don't really have turn 3 at the moment. He might not have an answer to this Fairy Dragon, though. The 3-2 is very nice. Okay, he's just going to Fire Blast me in the face for 1 damage. That's fine. That's fine. What are we going to do, then? Yep, looks like turn 3 will be a Totem. What are we going to get? A Healing Totem. Not that helpful, but still there. And a Worgen Infiltrator. And then we will start to have a go at his defenses. I really like Mirror Image as like a turn 1 play, because it just makes you so safe from just about any kind of aggression. I mean, if you had like a rushdown deck, this would just... Oh! Okay, he takes out the Fairy Dragon with a Lucky Arcane Missiles. Very nice. That's okay, though. What are you going to do now? You're going to play a Secret. Interesting. 3 cost. Now, admittedly, I don't know what the costs for the Mage Secrets are. It could be a Vaporize, although I doubt it. It could be Ice Armor, which would, or Ice, whatever it is, Ice Barrier, that would give him 8 armor. Or it could be a Mirror Image, which would ruin my day, because I want to play my Ascension Shieldmaster, but that would also give him Ascension Shieldmaster. Well, let's just find out what it is, because you can't really play too much around secrets in this game, because there's only one class that can actually flat out destroy them without activating them. So let's see what we get. Alright, so it looks like it's probably going to be an Ice Armor. I called his bluff, and it did seem to work out quite nicely for me. He can just Fire Blast the Worgen Infiltrator at this point, but that's 2 mana he has to spend on getting rid of that, and it means he has less mana to spend on something else. Oh, he's going to just Frost Nova everything. Okay, Yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay, so we have choices at this point. I like choices. So we can Flame Tongue Totem and Totemic Call to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minions on the board. And then next turn play the Frostwolf Warlord for a 9/9. That would be great. Or we could play the Frostwolf Warlord now and turn him into a 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Both of them are sheep bait. But maybe I'll be able to get something out of this. So we will play that, then we will play that. This board has just about enough health, I think, to survive something like an Arcane Explosion, even if it was spell powered. So it would get rid of the Worgen Infiltrator and the Searing Totem, which would suck, but the other totems and my Sentient Shieldmaster would survive it. So we've got some nice damage on the board. Admittedly, if I drew a Raid Leader or a Stormwind Champion, that would make this deck amazing. Interesting, he gets rid of the Healing Totem. Wow, I'm stunned at that. I really have to say I am. Okay, well, we will just quickly hit you, because this could be a Vaporize. I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure it's Ice Armor. Oh, it is a Vaporize. Okay, well, that's fine. It gets to destroy the 1/1. I'm fine with that. So, we could play the Gurubashi Berserker, which would be nice. Or we could play the Frostwolf Warlord. I think we'll go with the Warlord. We could alternatively play the Fire Elemental and just get rid of that. I like the sound of that, actually. We will do that. Okay, and then bash, bash. Alright, nice damage on the board here. If we drew Bloodlust next turn, that would be amazing. But I doubt it. So we have to think about what we're going to do next. Okay, Lord of the Arena comes out. I'm fine with that. It's a 6/5. It's going to eat something. Oh, interesting. So we could hit him with the Worgen Infiltrator to get him down to 1, and then use the other Fire Elemental's Blast to kill it. That would also buff up this Fire Elemental, and it would get rid of his Taunt. Other than that, what else could I do? I could trade my Taunt with it, which would be okay, but that would also be 5 damage I lose. And he's a big beefy bugger, so we'll just hit this. Boop. And then we will play our next Fire Elemental. And then hit him some more. Admittedly, I kind of wish I'd put the Fire Elemental here, because that would have been more damage. So kind of a mistake by myself. I wanted to get the immediate damage out of the Sentient Shieldmaster, but not that much of a problem. And what's great about this is that he can Flame Strike, but it won't kill everything. So he's kind of desperate at this point. My big beefy kind of minions are just kind of ripping him to shreds at this point. Alright, that's fine. So at this point, I think it's time for some Wind Fury. Yes. So, unless this is something that will save his life, like a Vaporize, then he is dead. We will attack with our lower attack minion first, just to see what we get. It's another Vaporize. That's okay. Hit him in the face. Whoop! If this is a Wrath of Air, it's not. That's okay. If that was a Wrath of Air totem, I could have Frost Shocked him to death. That would have been wonderful. But, I mean, I have 16, 24 damage on the board. This is just... He is in trouble. Interesting. He Frostbolts the totem. Not the Wind Fury guy. Although, admittedly, at this point, it won't save him. I think you may be buggered, my friend. Yes. That was a little bit of a whitewash. I'm not a massive fan of games like that. I don't, you know, being on the winning side or the losing side. Not a massive fan of it. Oh! I win some gold. How much gold does that give me? It gives me 175 gold. That is enough to buy a pack of cards, I believe. So I think we shall do that quickly. Yeah, that's enough to buy nearly 2. I probably should have thought about that. That's fine, though. So we shall buy this, and we'll see what we get. I've admittedly had some very bad luck with opening these in the past, so let's have a look what we get. We get a Mana Worm, not helpful. An Amani Berserker, not bad. Not entirely sure I'll put that in the deck, because I don't really have things that could enrage it early, unlike a warrior. But this is really great for a warrior, the Amani Berserker. Eye for an Eye, a Paladin card, not that interesting. Blessing of Wisdom, another Paladin card. Maybe it wants me to play Paladin after that absolute crushing defeat I received. And the rare is an Arcane Golem. A 4-2 for 3 with charge and giving your opponent a mana crystal. Now this is interesting. This is a really interesting card, I think. Not many people use it, as far as I'm aware, but it's 4-2, so it's a nice big heavy hitter quite early. Admittedly it dies to, you know, just about any one-cost card, but that's okay. So I'm not going to be using any of those at the moment. We're going to play one more game, I think. And hopefully we can even this out and make it a 2-2 over the course of this video, because really those first 2 games were just absolutely horrible. And I'm curious if you folks think there's anything I could have done in those games, other than, you know, in that first game not getting rid of the Hex, because I wasn't expecting a 17-17 questing adventurer. I'll keep that in mind next time I play a Paladin. But yeah, if there's anything else I could have done, you let me know. Alright, another Shaman. I do like fighting Shaman. It tends to be quite interesting. Okay, so I have an early Silence. I like that. And I have the early Fairy Dragon. I like that too. So we will get rid of the Frostwolf Warlord, I think. And see what we get. A Rockbiter weapon. That's nice, in case you play something really early. It doesn't give me a turn 1 play. Because again, I could give this to myself, but generally, just doing 3 damage to him for a card is so not worth it. But unfortunately, I can't give the Fairy Dragon the Rockbiter weapon either. So, we'll start with the Fairy Dragon. Nice, good, solid opening, I think, the Fairy Dragon. 3-2, can't be hit by spells, can't easily get rid of it, so you have to actually, you know, either use a weapon or a minion to deal with this. It forces a response that isn't just like, oh, here, have a card. You have to devote something to the board, which I like. So he's probably just going to Totemic Recall. Please don't be a taunt. Okay, that's fine. Although, admittedly, I probably still will go for the totem, because I don't want him to have the ability to just start buggering me over. So we will go Control, I think. So we have the Searing Totem out, which is actually quite nice. It's a nice start to the game. The Searing Totem can be helpful if you get it early, because it's essentially just a 1-1 for 2, which isn't that bad. Alright, what's he going to do? He's got the 4 mana. Ah, the Mogushan Warden. Okay. Well, that would certainly screw me over if I didn't have a taunt. And I think I'm more than happy to... Sorry, if I didn't have a silence. Because, goodness me, I can't talk. So if I silence this, it becomes a 1-7, which really isn't a problem. Really, even slightly for me. So I can just... boop. Get the Fairy Dragon out. And then go straight for him. So we've got a powerful board here. Admittedly, it will die to something like a Lightning Storm. And that has happened in the past. Lightning Storm has ruined my day. But, hey, well, I've dedicated to it now. I don't really understand what I should have done in that situation. I mean, if he Lightning Storms me at this point... Oh! Okay. I get rid of the taunt. He's like, no, you will have taunt. Alright, okay. Somewhat annoying, but I can live with that. So how are we going to deal with this? We could Rockbite a weapon, the 2-1, turn it into a 5-1, and just trade. Alternatively, we could Raid Leader, and turn this into a 3-1, and this into a 2-1, and trade both, but that would just be not efficient. So we will Rockbite a weapon you, and trade. Then we shall get the Shield Master out, get the nice taunt. Then I think we will just go for his face, because I don't want to give him the trade here, because the Defender of Argus will trade with both my totem and the Fairy Dragon, so don't really want to give him that. I want to make him work for those trades, make him do the attacking. So what's he going to do now? I'm curious. Alright. Turns this into a 3-4, so it won't die from the Shield Master, but that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that, I have to say. Okay, now what are you going to do? Oh! Curiouser and Curiouser. Okay. Alright. That was a pretty interesting play by him, I have to say. Alright, what can we do? We can Hex this, although it's only a 3-4, so I'm not too concerned about this. We could trade one of these and the totem into it, which I don't want to do. Or I could Raid Leader and then just trade the Fairy Dragon in for it. which I will do, I think. So we will do that. Trade you. Boop. And then we will trade you. You. Boop. And then we will trade you. Boop. This would be nice if it was a healing totem. Nope. Admittedly, the Rat of Air totem is probably the least helpful card for me, in general. But, got the board back. He has got way more cards than me, though. I've been spending a lot of cards to keep control of this board. So, I need to start getting value out of them. I am still at 30 health, though, which is nice. He's been using a lot of effective cards to try and get the board from me. Okay. He pops that. That's fine. I think this is a lovely time to introduce him to the concept of Hex. Or we could play the Boulderfist Ogre and just get a 6-7 out on the field. But I don't want to do that. We'll start with the Hex. Boopity boopity boop. Hit you with that. And then we will get the second Shield Master out. I'm all about the trolls. I bloody love trolls in the Warcraft universe. They are so awesome. Alright, so we have 2 cards in our hand. This is probably a weakness of the deck, actually thinking about it, is I have very weak card draw. Okay, gets the 5-4 out. I do have an answer to that. Although, it's another card. Which is, not great. Oh, lots of Taunt, lots of Taunt. Okay. Okay, what can we do here? We can Fire Elemental, and to get this guy down to 1, and then trade, because we're going to have to trade. Or we could Rock Bite to Weapon, and then trade, and then Fire Elemental. We'll definitely start by Rock Bite to Weaponing this guy, and then smack. So, now we beg the question, what do we do? Do we Boulderfist Ogre and get a 6-7 out on the board? Do we Fire Elemental, do 3 damage to this guy, and then kill him? Or do we summon the Totem? The Totem's out of the question, I think. I like having control of the board, so I think that's what we'll do. Keeping control of the board is the most important thing, in my opinion. And sure, I am suffering with card draw, and this is getting hexed. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. A card like that is very easily hexable, but I can now hopefully play the Boulderfist. Wow! He gets two hexes out. Goodness me. I am very surprised. Alright, so he's hexed my entire board and got rid of all of my damage. He's cast a lot of cards to do that, though. So, we can get the 6-7 out at this point, I think. That's definitely what we're going to do. So, he's just made a mistake. He's used both of his most powerful control spells on minions that are not as powerful as the minion I have just played. So, it was definitely a good move by me to wait that extra turn to let him cast the Hex. I only expected the 1, I did not expect him to cast 2. But, bloody hell, I have to say, that was unexpected, to say the least. So we have the 6-7 out now, but eventually everything else on the board is just kind of sitting there with no damage. So, somewhat of an annoyance. We only really have the one option right now, unless we draw a Bloodlust, in which case that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 9, 20... nearly kills him. Nearly. I'd love a Bloodlust right now, though. That would just ruin his day. And I'd like to ruin someone's day. In Hearthstone, I'm not that nasty of a person, I swear. What are we gonna do? Okay, Lava Burst. Interesting. Okay, hit me for 2. Lightning Bolt, maybe? Or a Frost Shock or an Earth Shock? Okay, he's going to buff up his healing totem and probably start knocking down my taunts. Although he has given me 2 taunts to help protect this this ogre. Okay, what have we got? Oh! An Ancestral Healing. Bloody hell. And you said it was useless. So we will definitely get some use out of it now, though. And use all of our cards. We will continue the control, I think. So yeah, we've got the big board now. And we are completely out of cards. So this has definitely been an interesting game so far. We've spent a lot of the game just trying to get control of this board. I am so unwilling to lose control of this board. I could have just rushed him down, but he probably would have a pretty strong board right now, and I would have a pretty weak board had I tried to do that. So I'm fairly happy with my choice to try and control the board. Alright, he's going to Lightning Bolt it. And then he's just going to trade both out. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure I got some nice use out of that. I still have the 4-5. And he's running out of cards. I will say that. Oh, interesting. The 5-5 comes out. Please don't be a taunt. Okay, it's not a taunt. Okay. So we'll start with a totem. And then we will fire elemental you, I think. I just want to get the damage out on the board right now. And start whacking him down, because I've got a good couple of attacks worth of defense right now with the frog and the Stoneclaw totem. So I think just hitting him in the face would be good. I mean, I can't even target the 5-5 stealth right now. I mean, because it's stealth, I wouldn't even be able to target it with the Fire Elemental's Battle Cry, so I wouldn't have been able to do that damage. I could have held onto it and then used that plus the Yeti to trade, but I don't think I wanted to do that. I don't want to give him the opportunity to start just wailing away at me without getting something on the board to counter it. Okay, that Frost Shock is nice. I think we'll hold on to that for when he starts trying to ruin my day with that Stranglethorn Tiger. In the meantime, we'll beat him down. So at this point, I have lethal next turn. So he needs to find a way to get rid of both of my taunts and my damage. All he admittedly has to do is get rid of my 1-1 or summon another taunt. That's not a taunt, so that hasn't saved him. There's the Ancient Watcher. What's he going to do? Has he got any answer? This is only just lethal. It's lethal by 1 point. It's exact. So does he have a way out of this? He needs a taunt. Or he needs to get rid of my 1-1. What's he going to do? The lack of action from him. Oh, there we go. Yep, there we go. Good game. Well played. That was a good game. I enjoyed that one. I always seem to enjoy playing against other Shaman. I find it very interesting to see how they've built their decks. So there we go. And another 40 gold. Does that bring me up to enough to buy another deck of cards? It does. That's how we shall end this video then. We shall end it by visiting the shop, purchasing some more cards. Still haven't spent any money, which I'm very happy about. And hopefully we'll get something nice. What do we got? An Earth Shock. Ooh, it's a Shaman card. I'm happy with that. Silence a minion, then deal 1 damage to it. That is a very nice 1 mana, 1 damage silence. I may actually throw that into the deck next video. We'll have to have a look. A Temple Enforcer for the Priest. Not so helpful. A Dust Devil. Oh, hello. A 3-1 with 2 Overload and a Wind Fury. Now, this card is interesting because it can deal 6 damage on turn 2 if you play it in the first turn and the enemy doesn't have an answer. But it has 1 health. All they have to do is Fire Blast it or anything, and it's dead. And you've wasted 3 mana because of the 2 Overload. So it's a risky as hell card to play. Although it's really cool, because if you can combine it with like a Rockbite weapon the next turn, that's 12 damage on the second turn. Like, bloody hell. Alright, so here's the rare of the deck. It's an Ethereal Arcanist for the Mage. Nope. Whoa! 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 Holy hell, the legendary! Illidan's Storm Rage. Ooh. How very nice. Whenever you play a card, summon a 2-1 Flame of Azeroth. Well, look at that. How very nice. Hello, Mr. Storm Rage. You were a troll once, but now you're a demon. Oh dear. Well, what shall we do? Well, there you go. That's a nice way to end it. Illidan Bloody Storm Rage. Very, very nice. So that will conclude this video. I'm very happy now all of a sudden. I've forgotten all about the horrible trash game that I had against the Paladin and the getting beaten down by the warrior. I swear, it will never haunt my memories. But that concludes this video, so thank you very much for watching. As always, make sure you comment, rate, subscribe, all that jazz. Let me know what you think. I appreciate all the feedback. Feel free to yell at me about my decisions because, hell, I've done so. You probably know more about this game than I do, so you can go ahead in the comments and say, oh, you should have played the Ancestral Guidance 1 turn earlier. If you'd done that, the cosmic laws of the universe would have changed and allowed you to win the game. But, no. So thank you very much for watching, and best of luck with your card draw in the Inn of Hearthstone.